Begin by getting into as comfortable a position as you can. Anticipate that you should be in this position for upwards of 45 minutes. You may need to put your arms at your sides, have your legs straight down below you, perhaps laying in a bed, in a recliner, something with support of your head so you can let your head and neck muscles relax. You may occasionally need to reposition slightly. That's not a problem. Just do what you need to do to maintain your comfort level. Now take a deep breath, and as you exhale, let the tension in your body reduce, as if you're exhaling the tension. You'll be doing this throughout this exercise. Breathe slowly and deeply, inhaling fairly deeply, not rapidly, slowly, comfortably, and as you exhale, let the tension out of your body. Imagine that you've been busy today. You've been working on your feet, using your entire body, and you're tired. The muscles of your body are somewhat tired. And now you're going to relax and let all the tension of all that work flow out of your body. Begin with your feet. Mentally search your feet, the muscles of your feet. Think about your toes, your ankles, your soles. Try to find any tension in your feet. And as you exhale, let that tension flow out of your feet. Let those muscles become very limp, very wooden, very deeply relaxed. And as you do that, you'll notice that your entire body becomes more relaxed. More and more deeply relaxed, more and more pleasantly relaxed. With each breath you take, each time you exhale, more tension is released. And as you release that tension, your entire body and your mind become even more deeply, pleasantly relaxed. Deeper and deeper, deeper and deeper. More and more completely relaxed, more and more pleasantly relaxed. Now look in your ankles and your calves. Look in your lower legs. Mentally search for any tension you can find. And as you exhale, let that tension out. Let it come out with your breath so that your legs become more relaxed, more and more pleasantly relaxed, more and more completely relaxed. Deeper and deeper, deeper and deeper. As that tension flows out of your legs, you may notice that your entire body is becoming more relaxed, and your mind is becoming more relaxed. Deeper and deeper, more and more pleasantly relaxed, more and more completely relaxed. Now move the focus of your attention up into your thighs and look for any tension you can find there. And as you exhale, as you breathe out, let that tension out. A little more with each breath, so that you become even more pleasantly, deeply, totally relaxed. Deeper and deeper, deeper and deeper. More and more pleasantly relaxed, more and more profoundly relaxed. As your thighs relax, you'll find that every muscle in your body becomes more relaxed. Deeper and deeper, more and more pleasantly relaxed, more and more totally relaxed. Now, focus your attention on your buttocks, your pelvic region, and your lower abdomen. And again, look for any tension you can find. Look in your lower back. You may be surprised now how much muscle tension is stored in the body. As you find that tension, try to just let it out, as if those muscles are tired from a hard day's work, and now you're just letting them relax completely. You're letting out all that tension. And with each breath you take, each time you exhale, let out even more tension throughout your feet, throughout your lower legs, your upper legs, your buttocks, pelvis, lower abdomen, and lower back. Continue to breathe slowly, gently, and each time you exhale, you'll find that you're able to let out just a little more tension. And as you do so, those muscles become even more deeply, profoundly relaxed, even more pleasantly, totally relaxed. Deeper and deeper, deeper and deeper. More and more pleasantly relaxed, more and more completely relaxed. Now move your attention to your chest and upper back. Look in your shoulders. Look in your upper chest, and you'll be able to find muscle tension everywhere you look. And each time you exhale, let out a little more of that tension. With each breath you take, with each word I speak, you'll find yourself becoming even more deeply, pleasantly, profoundly relaxed. Deeper and deeper, deeper and deeper. Look in the back of your neck. Look throughout your neck, up into your face, the back of your head. Many people store tremendous amounts of muscle tension in the back of the head, the back of the neck, and between the shoulder blades. Look there for any tension you can find. And each time you exhale, let out more and more of that tension. Just let it flow out of your body so that you become even more deeply, pleasantly relaxed, even more deeply, totally relaxed. Deeper and deeper, deeper and deeper. With each breath you take, with each word I speak, you become even more totally, deeply, pleasantly relaxed. Look throughout your arms and hands. Find any tension you can and relax those muscles. Just let them go completely limp. With each breath you take, with each word I speak, with each time you exhale, let out a little more tension. And as you do so, your entire body becomes even more deeply, pleasantly, totally relaxed. And your mind becomes even more deeply and totally relaxed. Deeper and deeper, deeper and deeper. With each breath you take, each time you exhale, with each word I speak, you become even more deeply, pleasantly, totally relaxed. Deeper and deeper, deeper and deeper. With each breath you take, with each word I speak, you become even more deeply, pleasantly, totally relaxed. Deeper and deeper, deeper and deeper. Now begin the search again, beginning with your feet. Just move your focus of attention through your toes. You'll find there's still just the littlest bit of tension, almost everywhere. As you find it, just let it out. Let those muscles relax so they feel heavy, wooden. You may find that some muscles twitch. They rarely become this relaxed. And the twitching is completely normal when we achieve such deep levels of relaxation. Continue to look through your lower legs and your upper legs. Look through your pelvis. Look through the trunk of your body to find any additional tension there. You'll find it, and when you do, just gently, slowly exhale, and as you do, let out more of that tension. And as you do so, you become even more deeply, totally relaxed, even more deeply, pleasantly relaxed. Take your time and look through your upper back and the back of your neck. You may find this to be a difficult area to relax. You may need to spend extra time there. Just look for the tension, and when you find it, just let it out. Slowly, gently, with each time you exhale, with each word I speak, let out just a little more tension, so that you become even more deeply, totally, pleasantly relaxed. Deeper and deeper, deeper and deeper. More and more pleasantly relaxed, more and more profoundly relaxed. Look through your arms, your hands, your face. Look through your neck muscles. And wherever you find that tension, just let it out. Just a little more with each time you exhale. And as you do so, you find that your body becomes even more deeply relaxed. As you relax one muscle, they all relax a little more. As you relax your body, your mind becomes even more pleasantly relaxed. Deeper and deeper, more and more pleasantly relaxed, more and more profoundly relaxed. With each breath you take, with each word I speak, you become even more deeply relaxed, more and more pleasantly relaxed, more and more profoundly relaxed. Deeper and deeper, deeper and deeper. Look through your forehead. Look through the muscles around your mouth. Wherever you find the tension, just let it out. And as those muscles relax, as they become very heavy, very wooden, your entire being becomes even more completely, totally relaxed, more deeply, pleasantly relaxed. Deeper and deeper, deeper and deeper. With each breath you take, each time you exhale, with each word I speak, you become even more deeply, pleasantly, totally relaxed, more deeply, pleasantly, utterly relaxed. Again, look through your body, beginning with your toes, and gradually move the focus of your attention up through your toes, up through your feet, up through your ankles, up through your lower legs and upper legs, up through your pelvis, up through your buttocks, up through your lower waist and your lower back. Again, look for any tension you can find. And each time you exhale, just let out a little more of that tension, so that you become even more deeply, pleasantly, more deeply, totally relaxed. Wide awake, listening to my voice, focusing on your tension, and gradually, gently releasing it from your body. Gradually, pleasantly releasing it from your mind. With each breath you take, with each word I speak, with each exhale, you become ever more relaxed, more pleasantly relaxed, more deeply relaxed, more totally relaxed. Now focus your attention on a very pleasant place, perhaps one of the most pleasant, relaxing places you've ever been. Think back to when you felt the most relaxed, perhaps laying on a beach on a sunny day, or floating on an air mattress in a swimming pool, or sitting on a porch during a light rain on a warm day. Picture being in that situation. Imagine the smells, the sounds, and let yourself sink into that image. Let yourself settle into it, and imagine being right back in that situation now. And imagine the deep, total relaxation that you're already feeling becoming even deeper as you listen to those sounds, as you feel the warm air over you. You become even more relaxed, even more deeply relaxed, even more pleasantly relaxed. And as you exhale, with each breath you take, you become even more deeply, pleasantly, completely relaxed. Deeper and deeper, deeper and deeper. Letting out still a little more tension each time you exhale. And as you do so, you become even more deeply, pleasantly, and totally relaxed. Deeper and deeper, deeper and deeper. Listening to the sounds of your special place, feeling the sensations, smelling the smells, feeling the warm air. And as you fill your mind with these images, you become even more deeply relaxed, even more profoundly relaxed, even more totally relaxed. Scan your body. Look for any muscle tension you can find. And as you exhale gently, you become even more deeply relaxed, letting out every bit of tension you can find, and becoming even more deeply, totally relaxed. Take a few moments to look around in your body and look around in your mind and to fully experience this deep, pleasant, very complete sense of relaxation. Know that you arrived here by simply following these instructions and removing the tension in your body. And so you can use those procedures again and again. And each time you do so, you will become quicker, more efficient, and more comfortable. You'll be able to get to this very deep state of relaxation even more quickly. And each time you do it, you may find that it becomes even more complete. Now, go ahead and begin to move slowly and gently. Stretch your muscles. Open your eyes. Come back from that pleasant place, a place you can go to whenever you wish. Allow some of the tension back, but only as much as you need in order to use your body. You don't need to let it all back, just a little. When you feel ready, you can get up and again pursue the activities of your day.